I was ready to get going, but now I'm not. Let's see. Working. Okay, we're working good. I don't know why that comes up as road USB. Desktop audio is muted. This is good. How's it going, Slider? Alright, so today we're working on a new prototype. Just a gray box station is pretty much the goal for today. And we need to do a gray box clinic. It's really weird. When did I make this? This is 8 by 8 by 8. Oh no, I think this is it. 8 by 8 by 8 V2, so why is it called 8 by 11 by 8? Nine, 10. Yeah, it's weird. There must be this V2 that I made. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think ultimately this is going to be the design. Oh, there's gonna be like 2 arms coming off them. So it must be this one that's exploded. I don't remember what I was going to do with that now. Throw myself in live for now. I don't know why that origin of the elevator is there. So that's all good, the floors are fine. Floor 1, floor 2, synchronizer, the platform, but this node. Yeah, these are fine here. 0. Yep. Do do do. Let's call this customized. Yeah, so we want to go back to menu. Oh, I forgot I actually created these nice player customization resources. Cool. Player customization. I don't see a button back here. Yeah. I really need to get the back button from this, probably. I don't know what the button submits for either. Maybe instead of submit it should be save. I guess submit can save. just online in it. I'm like super tired today, guys. If you're wondering why I'm kind of silent, just kind of working away. You want this to load from the player file. Great skin colors, I'm ready to load. Player data. Yeah, it's like that doesn't really matter. This should just work. We could just set this. Yes, this can go away because we already have gender integrated into the system. Yeah, it's not nullable. It's not over gender. Index. My regular expression. Customization camera, slide. Okay. Dang, submit. Yeah, so we need to load. Load okay, saved okay. This text is not saved into the handle in my file. There. No player data. I don't see any errors. Go to projects, account manager, initialize, one class error, nothing in the handle. So we go back into player, customize. Getting information. Yeah, not getting the initial loading. Or the error in this case. What do you get to? The scene resources messed up, which is fine. Weird. Any defaults here? Nope. There's a random being new by default, but it's private, so that's fine. Randomizer. Create our skin colors. Yeah, we should be trying to load the player. JD.print. Loading player info. I gotta go use the washroom real quick. Can we stay blue? You can, yeah. These are predefined palettes. You'll be able to do custom as well. Loading player information. So it is trying to load player information, but it's not putting my handle there. I'll be right back. How's it going, Fixius? Yeah, man, the sheer amount of stuff I've gotten done in this game this week is wild. Yeah, so we are loading in. Because when I go online, like, oh, reset. Okay, so maybe when I save it, log in again, let me just make sure that I probably just reset my handle to be nothing. And let's find out. Oh yeah, it's Revere now, so we're loading. So we just need to make this thing load in the gender body type. And set the tone, which is the color that'll be saved. What I'm trying to do, fix this, is have a separate customization window you can always access right now. So when I go to multiplayer, we're going to just load in that data anyway, but this stuff can go away. Because it's going to be, you know, it's all going to be part of the configuration. Like, just go back to the menu, go to, you know, change it here. So Revere 2, submitted. Go to multiplayer, and it loads up Revere 2. Same with the color. So I want to add, I do want to have the any color option, but we want to have it here. Right, and these are more like generic human tones. I want to actually have a few other classes. Ugh. So we're gonna do another build real quick here. We also added a new feature to the game, where every time I do an export now, it automatically uses the last git commit as the version ID. So ideally we'll do major versions as the year, month, day, but we'll do the minor by git commit. Right, so that'll be the versioning system. Hey Bear, and thanks for that, by the way. I couldn't figure it out because I was an idiot, and then I was like, why isn't this working? Like something was messed up, and then I realized it automatically created this Git version, and I just need to get the the commit count, and then we were good. So that's awesome. So that's great. So just to recap what we're actually working on today is we're working on the tin can. So this is Sardine Station because it's very basic. It's like, okay, we want to make a gray box station, and we want the gray box station to incorporate all of the new mechanics we've developed so far, including all the new panels, all the new systems, ship customization, NPC flight, everything. It's super handy. It works, right? Like now, because we were trying to do logging, like so now, like when I push now directly to the universe server in build, so here's my channels. So I added channel support to the launcher. Doing database, yeah. So it's like here's the systems build that I just did, and now if I go and look at it, obviously this works because you've seen it. So now here, what I've done is for fall versioning, it's going to be 0.0.0.276. So we know that this is 276, which is the, let me bring this up. So we know from the repo that this is commit, right, 276 on the commits. So the idea is, our versioning is going to be, right, it'll be like 25, 12, 18, my birthday as an example, dot, 287, right? So this number is going to keep going, go up and up and up and up and up and up, which is fine, because that's just the actual commit count of the current commit. And then we know, whenever we're doing like an issue that needs to be resolved, that's closed by a push or something like that, we can tell. So now at least the launcher, which is reading, the launcher can actually at least check the file version, and then it also kind of just inadvertently knows exactly what commit that the thing was built from. But I realized it needed to be like just numbers. It couldn't be anything alphabetical, so that's the, I don't know, that's where we are with file versioning right now, and I think it works, right? So that's the, where we are. So this is kind of what I've been working on, is kind of making this a lot more polished. So when we go in the test, right, so no longer, are we here in the little station doing nothing, just doing our thing. We now have a full, in a sense, it's like a bit of a downgrade because it doesn't look that great. Like artistically, the new station kind of sucks. I don't like it that well, but systemically, it does exactly what it needs to, right? Like what shops are what. I'm just using line 3Ds. We pop in, we're like, here's the bounties, we can grab all the bounties, and, bring the bounties to wherever we need. We have our ship components, right, purchase them, but they're they're a bit of a stretch bringing them down to the hangar, but hey, that's what I was trying to test, right? Like, if we start subdividing all these gameplay mechanics into actual locations where you actually have to go and pick stuff up, and lug it down, how much of a challenge is that, right? And it forces me to get some of this stuff actually working. you know. Because you can, you know, obviously load this stuff up. But, right, so we can now go to the ship panel. Right, spawn in my transport ship. Pull off all the components. Do all the upgrades, you know, pull off everything, let's pop everything out. So it's a lot more immersive, you know what I mean? It's more, everything in the game is much more functional. I can say that much. Right, and all the item port dependencies and stuff like that are now in. So you remove the fuel tanks, you'll have no fuel. We'll get the fuel, you know, UIs for the fuel and stuff like that now. I kind of feel like, you know, I'm at a stage now where we're like, cool, we can make gameplay. You know, we can just make gameplay and see how things go. This mag panel originally, where's the mag panel? Yeah, we'll just shut it off. Boop. This is all so cool. It's all working, right? Is the thing. Like, if I remove this warp drive, we can't warp. If I remove the comm system, we don't connect to the comm network anymore. You know, shield generator, shields go down. Right, so I didn't mean to. Right, so now it's like, hey, let's make the game. Let's flesh the game out. Now I got a new bug and I don't know where it came from, which is like, if I warp to the planet, it seems fine. There's something like, oh, I think there's like an initial, no, now it's working. It was creating this weird drift, and I don't know why. It's on one of the ships, like one of the ship's warp drive doesn't go straight, which is so weird. And I don't know what's causing it. Like, I was thinking maybe it's saving some weird velocity. And then when you get up to speed... No, because then it resets it. No idea. You know? Because when you come out of warp, the idea is like when you go into warp, we store the linear velocity forward. So when we come out of warp, we want to slow the ship down, obviously. But we slow the ship down and we, like, you know, set it to whatever the linear velocity was, because we're just wrapping the universe around the player. So even though it looks like it goes super fast, when they shut off, they just instantly kind of warp to the speed they were going when they entered warp. So they kind of like boom and then slow down. But anyway, it was like, it's doing this weird thing, but anyway, it's not doing it now. I don't know why. It's cool that the game is actually like becoming the game, you know. But this is from testing. This is from having actual Patreon members doing active testing continuously and finding bugs and bugs and bugs and bugs and bugs and trying to play it as a game, you know? And that's been really cool. Hey! Right, like this is, like, oh man. Nice warping. Dude, there's so much to the game right now. So much. We now have a couple new Patreons, Astron. It's Sliver and Moon. And they have been every night until like 3 a.m. in the Discord testing and knocking out bugs. And it's enabled us to just really put gameplay mechanics online. So the vehicle's working in multiplayer, the land vehicle. I'll actually show you. I'll just show you what we've created just to kind of get things prototyping. So this is the new proto station. We got the ship arm fixed, right? So ideally now we'll be using the proto station for the systems project, right? So this thing will now accurately grab the ship, ignore the, you know, and get a chance to. So all of the systems now are systemic. So like no comm system, no comm uplink. No warp drive, you actually can't jump. No shield generator, no shield. Right? You need weapons. Right? The scooping won't work anymore if you don't have a fuel scoop. You know, you won't have any power if you don't have a power plant. You won't be able to cool anything, it'll melt if you don't have coolers. So we're working on the systemics, right? Take off a fuel tank, no more fuel, right? Or do you only have one fuel tank? Alright, I'm trying to serialize a lot of the data of this in the component itself. So like, boop, you know, and it registers its storage, you know, to the ship systems. And then that means that you can technically just spawn out a full fuel tank and swap it on, or you can, you know, hook up the thing to it and just fill up all of your tanks. So there'll be like a fueling module, but you could actually just like, you know, store the full, you know, fuel tanks. So we have refinery missions now. We have like, you know, the whole mag thing. I'm gonna store this ship. I'll just show you. So we have like a gas mining ship, an ore mining ship. I'm gonna store and spawn in the ore mining ship. So ship configuration obviously works. Right? We have our, you know, different themes. So we're gonna go do a refinery mission because we do a refinery panel here. So let's go to refinery mission. Let's see what we have here. Hydrogen or 646 units of ore. Sure. So I've accepted that. There it is. There's the mission. And we're gonna go put this. Do the fuel tanks keep remaining fuel when taken off? The idea is yes, right? It'll save it to the actual fuel tank. The plan is I want the metadata to go with the component. Right, so that's going to be the, you know, it probably doesn't do it directly right now, but the intention is for the data to go with the component. Because if you were stealing that off of another ship, you'd want to be able to swap those out immediately. You know what I mean? Because that'd be a great way of wink wink refueling, you know? Yep, it will. Module of health is also really important. So check this out, right? This is our 2 million asteroid test little, you know, multi-mission system. But now I can do this. Right, so I'm literally actually filling up the ship with raw ore. Now it's early, this is just very early implementation. I want to get the gameplay mechanics online. I want players to be able to test it. I want to get feedback, you know what I mean? And we'll add to the systems. It's one of those like, hey, let's make it. Let's get it working. Let's get the systems integrating with each other. So we're at 7% ore, like bulk ore storage volume for this module that we have attached. So we can just kind of sit here and pull in ore. In a later build, we're going to add ice, because ice creates hydrogen. Right, so it's like ice to water, water to hydrogen. We'll start doing economic station dependencies. That'll come later on as well. Like during the summer, after my current work project is over, things will kind of slow down at work, and I'll have a little bit more time. I'm also taking my vacation this summer as well, so. But hey, you know what I mean? Like this is, you know, like it's not too technical right now. It's just kind of chill. Like you're just kind of chill, blowing up rocks and sucking up their content. So we got to add the scanning system. You know, it's a part of the star map, like the 3D star map, mini map rework that's coming down the pipeline. Right now I'm just kind of fine-tuning the test environment and kind of going over refactoring, cleaning up what I've already written, making it all testable. Right, so if Moon and Sliver and even yourself, if you guys can go in and just, and the new Delta patcher, well, it doesn't quite Delta patch, but the new patcher makes it so easy to pull the waste build. And you can leave it open, and while I'm, you know, just sitting here doing builds, you just click update on the patcher, and it will pull down the latest version. It takes like, you know, less than a minute. It's like boom. No more Google Drive, you know. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get 600 units. It might take 2 runs. I think I can only do like 500 units. Eve or a little bit like SC, where they're pre-fractured for network stability, but they stay clumped, so they break down by ore composition. So ideally, you have your scanners. Your scanners are kind of scanning the field. You're looking for a color tone on the mini map. Right, it'll be like different frequency for each of the ores, so you're kind of like, you know, on your little hologram mini map, you know, it's like detecting, you know, things that are around you, and it's composition. How did I break? There you go. So, you know, once something pops up on your sensors to show like, oh, I found something of this major type of ore, so you're looking for, then you can scan it. You know, so when you actually target the ore, right now you can't target the thing in front of you, but when you target it, you'll get the hologram representation of it, and that hologram representation will kind of show off the, you know, the breakdown. So you get the hologram, and then the target information panel, which the FOV and stuff needs to be changed, will be the list of composition of kind of like what's what. And then as you're fracturing it, you know, it'll break into 2 pieces, and then, you know, it'll kind of keep going down until you get to the smallest unit, which you can just you know, pull in with your tractor beam, and then you're kind of pulling in raw, right? So you're pulling in everything that's in that chunk, right? But, you know, hopefully you're just, as you're breaking it down, you'll realize, okay, well, that piece has nothing in it, you know what I mean? So I'm leaving it alone. So I'm just kind of picking the highest compositions, and then when you bring it back to the refinery and you load it onto the refinery, you get your kind of summary of yep. So all of the, you won't be able to dump waste because the ship is not smart enough to be able to separate. Like, it's just a big rock hopper, right? The intelligence is in the scanning of the rocks and being able to kind of, as you're breaking them down, only picking what you want. If you were to dump both hoppers, you'd dump everything, because, you know, the medium-sized mining ship doesn't have onboard refinery, so it can't really do anything. The large-scale mining ship would have an onboard refinery to be able to kind of scale, but the large classification of ships won't come out for probably like post alpha, right? Yeah, so you get ore percentages and refine elsewhere. Yep. Yeah, exactly. You just kind of look at like what's worth it, right? Similar to, you know, SC's mass versus percentile. And I want to make it a bit more, and like I said, like this, we are free to create whatever we want. It's always going to be like, get players to play it, you know what I mean, and see how they feel about it, and, you know, we can always experiment. My thought process is I'd really love to do a lot of tier 0 everything, to get the game playable. And then do these really interesting like 6-month sprints where they're like a focus sprint, where it's like, you know, let's say there's a 1.1 update, and the whole update is just refining mining aspect of the game, and, you know, it would introduce a larger mining ship and would kind of like, you know, kind of bring it to the next level. right? And then there'll be another update, which would be like after another 6 month, period that would introduce like one salvage ship, right? Specific to salvage. Salvage post would be a module or variation of this ship. Where you have like this ship or version of it, like the hauling ship that has like maybe a salvage barge on it, and the salvage barge would probably just be an external cargo grid that you can just throw raw, stuff onto. So, like imagine a variant that's like cut. Yep, yeah. So that's the other ship. Let me. So the gas mining ship. Let me go grab it. All we have right now systemic is volumes. So it's going to be both. The risk with fuel scooping at the start is that pirates could be there. You know what I mean? Like, looking for a limping along ship, right? Because it's a valid gameplay. So this here is a gas volume for hydrogen, just for testing, obviously. But let's just run over to probably this station. Yeah. Let me just. I want to swap the ship out real quick. Also in this build, like it's the sheer amount of stuff, man. So I also got the fighter online, thanks to the guys. So we now have the fully working small fighter. It's now fully working, outfittable. You can buy one. Looking for the ship terminal. This one over here, next to the cargo bay. Just lurking for now. We'll try to get in and chat later. It's all good. Yeah, so I just want to get the gas variant. I'll just kind of show you the. So it's store the ore mining ship. Okay, that should be gone. Let's bring in the gas mining ship. Alright, so here's my fully customized gas mining ship coming up here on the horizon. Alright, so this variant has storage tanks on the sides, and I'll bring it into the hangar. So it's using the front of the same kind of rock miner, but this is a placeholder. Ideally, there's 3 fuel scoops, so we have a fuel scoop. So there's just an extra 2 fuel scoops, and it does have like a gas kind of extractor. Joke's on you. What's that? Has already forgiven me. What? Joke's on you. Space has already forgiven me. Hey, Duncan. So in this variant, because you can do the other missions right now too. I'll bring this guy back into the hangar. It doesn't have any components because I haven't outfitted it yet, so it can't warp. So if I try to warp, it just errors out. But it's fine because we don't want to warp. We're gonna head over here. We're just gonna hook this bad boy here in the hangar, so I can actually show you. Alright, so this guy it's just a variant of the ship that has big tanks. These are 2x8, and they can be removed as well. Let's just drop the mag arm. Yep, so still supports 2 hard points. It's not a bad configuration. And if we do a ore mission, let's do oh yeah, this one. Oh, this one. Yeah, so 160 units of hydrogen. Easy peasy mission. Why is the pilot shear jittery on not when mounting? I'm not sure. I think it's the player being having their collisions enabled before the animation is complete or something silly like that. Because it's not always, like, watch. Right? Like, so it's just weird. Oh yeah, right. No, it's just something to be bug tested. So here, you have to maintain a speed greater than 25, and just scoop. This is not the most amazing mechanic in the game right now. But how these will be visualized in the future is by a volumetric cloud system that's being used to draw the nebulas. So the same noise that's being used to kind of create like the system-wide nebulas will have these pockets of where these high concentrations are. So as you're kind of scanning them, they'll kind of pick up, as like a game object, right, of different like high concentrations greater than a certain amount. And then you're just kind of doing the scoopy scoop. Obviously not within a little 8-meter circle that makes it very hard to scoop in, but I don't, and I think I'm pretty slow on scooping as I'm just running around this thing. So I'm gonna run it back and just check and see how much I've actually scooped. The cool thing though is like what I hope I gain from this is eventually players are going to be able to outfit ships, and they're going to want to buy more ships, and there's obviously a time constraint to that. They're working their way up, and they're creating their own like kind of collection. And what's nice then is they can in advance collect a lot of fuel, and store it and use it for themselves. That they can kind of they can decide to kind of do things for themselves if they want to, right? They can go get their own fuel. They can get all of the salvage materials and stuff they need for doing their own repairs. They can kind of be a bit more independent as they grow their own fleet, and vice versa. I haven't yet, actually. Between work and the game, it's been like pretty encompassing. So this refinery UI is not registering the ship. We'll need to take a look and see why, because this should be working. And I don't think we're getting any errors. Nope. And we do have the mission. Let me just confirm. Hydrogen and ore, yeah. So we do have the mission. So we should be seeing the ore that we just got. So I think that's actually just the hangar not being set up correctly. So this refinery needs access to a station. In the mag area. Why? We couldn't find. Okay, so we need to go like 4 levels high. To make sure we actually get to the station.
sorry, Leonard. Was that dental hurt you said? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
I'm not sure why we actually need the station reference here. Oh, to confirm that the, yeah, let me just see what's up with this real quick. Refinery mission system. Should have a list of panels for missions if it's registered. Yeah, so is it, are we not registering this panel? As we should be. Yeah, the game manager. Yeah, so this should be registering. Registry panel, mission select, mission accept. Checking progress for the mission. We have like one elevator we have to fix as well. Let me make sure we can buy ships here. Nuclear soft, make gravity stronger. Yeah, so we accepted the mission. Claimed it. Spawned the back in. Attaching, trying to call players set to the ship set to the mine. Player separate customization and player registry. Yeah, okay, so with the refinery panel, this should accurately. Can't wait to get this storage thing working. That's the whole point of moving all this over. get the storage working. Right now it's still static and it's just animations, but it's gonna be so cool just pulling the ship up and storing the ship. And bringing up the guardrails. Whatever causes the warp drive to fail doesn't happen all the time. It's so weird. Why do you keep assets upright from the main build? Because when I originally moved everything from Unity, and I used Unity dot to move everything over, it brought over like 12 gigabytes of assets. And as I was redeveloping the game in Godot, I wanted to make sure that I had a build that was super light, and that I didn't spend I didn't want to take the same approach I did with Unity, which was trying to make the game look good while developing the systems for the game. So now, although everything looks uglier, you know what I mean, other than some of the shaders that I'm moving over, having a 180 megabyte build is much more beneficial to me, from like the speed at which it can be given to testers, and the speed at which those testers can review it. Right, like I know it'll look good, and I know like what I'll do is I'll periodically, you know, just pull the build into Unforgiven space, and I'll go in and just reset up some of the new prefabs. And it's not a lot of work, you know, it's not too much work to just swap out some of the models. And, you know, it's, but that was the mindset, because I kind of wish I did that in the beginning. I was really like wanting to show off the game, and to a certain extent, I think it worked, you know what I mean? Having like working on art from the day one does create a marketable, cool looking product. But it does get in the way, like all this extra topology, because it's not like it's not like we're trying to optimize this early. Like, you know, if I add all that into the scene, it's going to slow everything down because it's unoptimized. You know, we're not really strategically going through all the materials, and you know, a lot of things are like duplicate materials. They're not like stamps and stuff. Like, I would just be slowing down my own developer effort. With the trade-off of having things look good. And now, if I'm feeling like very artistic, I can go in and build assets, and I can just throw those in the models folder of the main project, and I know they're waiting for me. You know what I mean? Have you seen how the ship's on the testing build? No, I haven't. I'm assuming they're just squares. Right, it's yeah, that's the, you know, and I'm sure, like, you know what I mean, like people have their own opinions of how they want to push everything, but I like this. I like, boom, I want to do a build, project, export, runnable. You're right, it takes 2 seconds. Right, it's like you know, it's really easy. And now I just literally, like, you know, like I'm a Patreon member, right? Patreon member logs in, clicks Patreon, clicks allow, changes to the systems channel, right? And that, you know, it's done, right? And then that's it. Like this to me has so much more validity, you know, than I don't know, than anything else. So that's the that's the idea, right? And that just comes from the fact that, you know, I probably would have never done that. Do you have an option of patching if the Godot works in it? You do have the option of patching, and if Godot works anything like Unreal, you shouldn't cook everything. You shouldn't cook everything at every build. But I don't disagree with you at all. Systems come first, yeah. Right, and I don't want to get bogged down with things that look, you know, I want to make sure things are just kind of simple right now. It makes it a lot easier to work. Right, like I am trying to get rid of these test stations, you know, because we need to get NPCs to fly in and out of these things. You mean like partial build or full remake? I think in Godot everything is one assembly, so when I do an export, I'm pretty sure it's a full build every time. But I also don't think it takes, like, it's pretty light. Like, I think I can, you know, just hear, like, .NET build, you know. Right, that's the DLL side of things. Yeah, assets don't need to be touched if they weren't changed. Yep. I can't wait for the new IK stuff, man. That's gonna be the coolest thing. Yeah, getting the new bone constraints and a few other things. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, and I think the hashes are still, there's still some issues with delta patching, but, you know, 180 megabytes, it's fine for the time being. I'll spend some more time on the delta patcher later. Like, I did some work on it just for the guys, to be able to help push, why is this closing? Close build. It's like, no, we will not close. Where are you even from? Are you from the project? Close. Why do you hate me? What are you? Mr. Windows Terminal. Oh, just the .NET build. How time? Yeah. Yeah, I think with the .NET stuff is still like I think the build is still pretty fast. Normally in Unity, right, it creates different assemblies for everything, but in Godot, there's just like one Unforgiven systems.dll like it's compiled, like they're all in one assembly. And as far as I'm aware, I haven't seen like a .NET way of kind of breaking out the namespaces into their own assemblies, so they don't need to necessarily recompile each time. but it still like has been a problem. I guess it doesn't. It also helps too that I have a pretty crazy CPU. So where are we on the click it? I sure envy how fast Unity and Godot can be, at least when it comes to smaller projects. I know that Unity comes kind of bad later on, but UE5 sucks from the get-go. Man, Unity is slow, man. I think this is done. So much stuff, man. So this is the new issues board that the Patreon members have been contributing towards. This is all stuff that Sliver and Moon have been doing. There's a bunch of first-person stuff that technically got fixed, but isn't really fixed. I do want to grab I want to put the prototype station here in this one. New proto station.
Not the best system in the well, that's just it. That was why I was like, oh, you know, he said that would
We'll be doing full size or scaled down? Scaled down. Big enough to have a purpose is the answer. They're not going to be that small, like what we're seeing, you know. Okay, I want NPCs to work. So these need waypoints. And a nav mesh. We could bake one here.
Yeah. Absolutely. I remember standing outside.
Gray box for 8x8.
Yeah, no. It's like I was standing outside the exhibition shop, and
Let's do a 16x16.
I saw it, and like, I was too hot to breathe. It was too everything to breathe. Like it took too much energy. It was so beautiful. And I was like, I didn't even know how it existed. It was insane. Like, holy. Yeah. Yeah. It was wild.
We're just gonna replace some of these because these are all just made with very basic stuff in mind. I need to add like a test, like a god mode or something that we can just kind of teleport around the map. Before it wasn't an issue because we were always just, you know what I mean, like in one area, everything was kind of more convenient. But now that I'm trying to test the actual gameplay mechanics and traversal time, it's a bit annoying. I can jump at the window. Oh, actually, we were there. Hang on. Did we see any NPCs going around? I said it to 8, so there should be 8 NPCs walking around. Yeah, I don't know if they can spawn. Eight max NPCs. The NPC resource. The region. Navigation region. Or the primary navigation region. We got navigation regions, no waypoints, no arcades, no food stands, no bars, no medical modules. Okay, so we need a waypoint system. We're just gonna put them around here like we were doing before. And these should really be marker 3Ds. I don't know why I just made them nodes, but hey, whatever. Let's add our waypoints. So that should be everything the NPCs need to come alive at least. So let's go see if it boots up. I'd love to be able to play around with this one in multiplayer. Nope, don't see any NPCs on the station yet. Because they're over there. Yeah, there's those ones. No. And I don't see them just spawning on top of each other either. Because normally they would just be here at the origin, stacked on top of each other, because they don't have a nav mesh to spawn at. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it should automatically populate itself, so that's not an issue. So, new proto station is in the right group. In stations, got the right resources. Got hangars, got landing pads, station NPCs. Waypoints. It's like I'm not really seeing it reference this navigation region. Let's see if it's actually spawning. So this station, so original station, it's got its NPCs, it's got 20 NPCs. New proto station, never did spawn them in. Station 2 also spawned in 20 NPCs for 40 total. Proto station, it's online. Let's see anything different about them. Oh, it didn't have a location nav point. Yes, it does. It doesn't have an ID. Shouldn't matter. It's enabled. Is online. Is enabled. Should be good. Should be good. Find all of our nodes. Spawn NPCs. So it's trying to spawn a place 20 meters around the station. Hey, Fishy, how's it going? So maybe we're just not finding a spot here to place it. So we're not actually adding them. I think it's calling. How's everything going, Fish? Yeah, because the main station. What is the origin? Let's see. The origin. Yeah, no, that should be fine. Yep, and that should be all within 20 meters, so we should be attempting to spawn NPCs. Yeah, that's everything it should need. Only difference is like this isn't a child. For the navigation region, it's enabled. Unless I need to put. Wait, let me just check the other station's navigation layers real quick. Station 2, station. Should be a level scene. This will be a mesh. Okay, good. Sampling. Regions. Yeah, I'm just using one. This looks pretty straightforward. Monotone layers, that's fine. Static colliders. First channel should have static colliders. Proto station. Navigation layer 1. Navigation. Well, that all seems fine. I don't know, it's weird. So that origin is literally on the navigation point. Nav point. Gonna move over a little bit. Alright, I'm just gonna do this one more little test, and then I'm gonna. Hey, Cyber. Then I'm gonna log off. I'll be on the Discord though. Yeah, not spawning NPCs. Where are they? Weird collision shape bug here. So weird. Whatever's killing the frame rate now. Fine, plans, if it's ready. So in the star system, let's do some defaults. Alright, let me save all this. I'm gonna go and give someone a raid. And I'll start working through this on the Discord. Edit project. Station to multiplayer. Add an add mesh. To proto station. We need to get NPCs spawning. So I'm going to end it here on the YouTube.